Just when I thought I was out, they keep pulling me back in. Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy. Surprise! I'm back again, randomly, because the Oscar nominations dropped out, and my goodness. You talk about this might be the most mixed bag Oscar nominations I have ever seen. I'm literally ever seen. Because the nominations prove to me this is the best and worst tendencies of the Oscars. There are some fantastic choices. Really, really solid choices. I have no complaints with them. And then there are those bonehead ones. I'm like, what, really? That? You nominated that, but you didn't nominate this. And you chose that, but you didn't choose this? Or how the hell did he get a nomination? But you know what? I always tend to start these videos off in a negative way. So how about we actually start on a positive note? So I have the list right here, just in case if I forget one, and it's kind of bright. So let me just lower the brightness real quick. Anywho, first things first, the fact that Everything, Everywhere, All at Once got 11 nominations, I believe, that's a win. That is a huge fucking win. That's great. The fact that got the most nominations out of most of the category, or most of the movies nominated, I love that. That's what I meant by some of their best tendencies, where they actually nominate films that are not only worthy, but also a progression for the art of filmmaking. And Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is that film, and it definitely deserves its kudos. I hope, it's one of those few years, too, where I hope that a movie sweeps. I hope Everything, Everywhere, All at Once sweeps. If there was a movie this year, or a movie at all, that ever deserved to sweep an entire ceremony, I think Everything, Everywhere, All at Once deserves all the wins. Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay for sure. If that doesn't win, oh my goodness. Best Actress, Michelle Yeoh. Or I think I pronounced her name wrong, but she definitely deserves to win. Like, look, I love me Kate Blanchett. Always been a huge fan of hers. But I mean, you've got like 2 Oscars already. You don't need another. You don't need a third one. Let's give one to one person who's been working in the industry, working her ass off for many years, have done countless of iconic roles, done countless of movies, good and bad. It's her time in the sun. She deserves it, man. Let's see. What other good things shall I say? All Quiet in the Western Front, I think, is a good nomination as well. The Banshees. Yes. All the yeses for that one. So let me look at best performance for a lead actor. Austin Butler as Elvis is pretty good. I love the fact, by the way, Bill Nighy has been nominated for an Oscar. I have been saying for years this guy is one of the more underappreciated actors of his time, one of the most underappreciated actors ever, and the fact that this is his first nomination is almost it's sacrilege. But I'm just happy that he's finally getting his attention. Like, I'm not saying these words right. I'm just glad he's finally getting the attention I think he definitely deserves. And of course, Brendan Fraser, the guy's been blowing up everywhere with The Whale, and he did get his nomination. Will he get the win? It's a tough one, because I think everyone's really rooting for Colin Farrell. I'm rooting for Colin Farrell, but I think it's a toss-up between those two, Brendan Fraser and Colin Farrell. Funny enough, and this might sound like the fanboy in me, I love if Bill Nighy just was like the dark horse that came out of nowhere and stole the award from both of them. I'd be like, that's funny. That's hilarious. And also, I think well-deserved for all the years that he's done great roles and never got any sort of attention for them. Best Actress in Leading Role. These choices are fine to me. But of course, Michelle Yeoh, she definitely deserves to win. Kate Blanchett, I'm sure she did fine. I don't know who Andrea Riseborough is. And I don't know who I never heard of the movie To Leslie. Michelle Williams, she always gets nominated. Ana de Armas, I'm actually kind of delighted to see her in this category. Now, I don't know if, every time there's a Marilyn Monroe movie, I always feel like if someone's playing Marilyn Monroe, they're going to get nominated. Didn't Michelle Williams also get nominated when she played. Oh man, why am I blanking her out her name? Marilyn Monroe. So it is funny that they're both in this category. One of which is playing a role that the other one played almost a decade ago. No, more than a decade ago. Wasn't that in 2008? So, supporting role. I'm glad Brendan Gleeson's on here. I'm glad that Brian Tyree Henry's on here. That's amazing. Judd Hirsch. Whoa, Judd Hirsch is on here. I didn't know he was on here. Fantastic. I love that. And then Ken Hyung Hwan. I'm butchering his name. I apologize. He's on here. Yes. Best actress for a supporting role. I don't think Angela Bassett. I love you. No. Jamie Lee Curtis is on here. Yes. Stephanie Sue. Yes. Hong Chau. Yes. Best director. The guys that directed Everything Everywhere All at Once. Dan Kwan and Daniel. Man, I'm going to butcher all these names. I apologize. Yes. Martin McDonough. Yes. Steven Spielberg. Of course, I mean, it's Oscars. Original screenplay. Again, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yes. The Banshees of Inisherin. Yes. Adapted screenplay. Well, we'll get to the adapted. I have a lot to say about the adapted screenplay, but don't worry. We'll get into the adapted screenplay. I don't think there's anything else there that I really. Oh, well, again, it's a bad thing, but most of these nominations are pretty fine. Like I said, this year's Oscars is the best and worst tendencies of the Oscars. So I talked about what I loved. I'm glad that Everything Everywhere All at Once got all the nominations, well deserved. And if anybody says otherwise, they're a hater. They're a hater and they do not appreciate film. Truly, if you think Everything Everywhere All at Once does not deserve any of its nominations, you're a hater. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. Anywho, so let's get to the stuff that I didn't like. Let's talk about the worst tendencies of the Oscars. Like the mere fact that, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 3 choices of the Best Pictures category, in my opinion, do not belong in here. And they were only nominated because they're big blockbuster films. And yes, sorry, Top Gun Maverick fans, I'm coming for you. No, Top Gun Maverick is not the best fucking movie of the year. I'm sorry. I don't care how much money it made. I don't care if you think it's the best. Look, in my opinion, it is the best sequel to a movie that was made decades ago, ever made. But is it the best film? No, it's not the best film. And clearly they don't agree that it's the best film because it's got no other big nominations. The director wasn't nominated. Tom Cruise is not even up for Best Actor. Or Best Supporting Actor. There's nothing for that. They could have gave it easily to Iceman's son. I forgot the actor's name. Oh, God, I forgot the actor's name. Oh, man, he was also in... How did I forget? Miles Teller, I think. Miles Teller, right? He could have easily been nominated for Best Supporting Actor if he really believed in this movie. But no, they didn't get any other big nomination. It got nominations in the categories I expected it to get nominations. Sound design, sound editing, things like that. And they got nominated for Best Song, too, which was interesting. Oh, okay, that's another praise I have. I love the song Lift Me Up. Okay, I'm a Rihanna fan. I'm going to be biased there. I hope she wins. I would love to say Academy Award winner Rihanna. That's fantastic to me. I think that's great. I can't wait. Hopefully she wins. I mean, I don't know. That might be who's she up against? What songs are there? Sorry, I didn't look at the songs. Let's see. So there's Lift Me Up. There's This Is a Life. Oops, man, I clicked out of it. Anyway, while I'm looking for it again, Lift Me Up, I really love that song. I hope it wins, but there's a chance it might not win. I'm trying to see, where's the songs here? Oh, here we go. Lift Me Up. This is a live from Everything Everywhere All at Once. I haven't heard it. I gotta listen to these songs. The only nomination that RRR got was not ought to, I think. Applause by Diane Warren for Tell It Like a Woman, and then Hold My Hand by Lady Gaga and Blood Pop for Top Gun Maverick. But yeah, I'm sorry to the Top Gun Maverick fans. This is not me saying that it's a bad film. It's a great film. It's not Oscar worthy. That's what I'm saying. It's not an Oscar worthy film. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not. It's not. You try to convince yourself all you want. It's not an Oscar worthy film. It was only put in here because that was the biggest film of this year. Be truthful about it, guys. Come on. If this movie made $100 million at the box office and was just a mild success, do you really think Top Gun Maverick would have been nominated for Best fucking Picture? Really? No. And then another one, probably the worst nomination in the Best Pictures category, Avatar: The Way of Water. Listen to me. Listen. No one said this, but I'm going to say it loud and clear. Avatar: The Way of Water is a bad film. Not a mediocre, I'm talking bad. It's bad. It's not a good film. Everyone's heaping the praises. It's like, oh my God, it's so good. It's a bad film on a storytelling level. It's really bad. Like, if you really think about it, it's a bad film. Look at the story. It doesn't make any sense. And talk about downscaling. The final battle in Avatar: The Way of Water just comes down to a petty feud between two families. Think about it. It's not, there's no grand scale, large scale battle. It's a battle in the sea with one ship and a bunch of native tribes that live near the sea that have a symbiotic relationship with the water. Whatever you think about the first Avatar, it ended on an epic scale. It was a battle for the fate of the Na'vi. It was a battle for the fate of Pandora. This battle at the end of Avatar: The Way of Water was just a battle between, it's literally a battle between two families. It's a battle of disagreement. There was no consequences from this battle besides, of course, Jake Sully's son died. Ooh, spoilers, his son died. Whatever. You didn't even care about that son. They focused more on the other son. And the human boy that pals around had more focus than the firstborn. You didn't care about him. When he died, I'm like, oh, he died? I didn't even notice. Like, the idea that Jake Sully would uproot his family and move away to run away from the threat. Do you not know who these people are? Jake Sully, come on. You were in the Marines. They're not going to stop because you moved away. They're going to keep trying to find you. Jake Sully from the first film would have never run away. And I get it. You're going to say, well, he's a changed man now. He has a family. He's thinking about them. If he was really thinking about his family, you know what he should have done? He should have eliminated the threat altogether. Because running away from the threat, I'm sorry, and this is some real talk. Running away from a threat is not going to get rid of the threat. You need to address the threat before it gets out of hand. Avatar: The Way of Water is not a good film. Technically speaking, yes, marvelous. It looks great. I have nothing against that. I thought most of the acting was pretty okay. And I'm sorry, look, James Worthington has not grown as an actor whatsoever. He really has not grown at all. Like, he acts the same. Like, I was almost surprised at how bad he was in that film. I'm like, 14 years or 13 years and no improvements. Wow. Okay. You know, most actors tend to grow as they go along in their career. I mean, shoot, look at Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum was a guy that most of us never thought was a great actor. And then as years went on, he really did a 180 on his whole persona. He did a 180 on his image. And now a lot of us revere him as a good actor, whether it's comedic or dramatic. I, for one, have changed my mind about Channing Tatum. I don't cringe when I see the name Channing Tatum. But I guess with Sam Worthington, he just... Oh, I'm sorry. I blocked my camera with my hand. But it seems with Sam Worthington, he just chose not to evolve in any way. All that movie has going for it, guys, really, is great visuals, a pretty good song from The Weeknd, honestly, and that's it. The story's kind of mediocre for a 3.5 hour movie. It's not worth the runtime. The movie is about a petty disagreement between two families. It's like a rivalry. If you really break it down, what changes about the world now that Jake Sully destroyed that boat? Did anything change? Are the humans leaving? Are they going to stop hunting these whale-like creatures? No! The climax was so isolated, it has no real major effect on the world. It doesn't. Think about it. What did it change? It is the military guy going to be like, well, he has my son now, and he beat me underwater. I guess I'm going to leave him alone. He's free to roam around and just do whatever he wants. Are you kidding me? He's coming back. So yeah, Avatar, I'm going to put the camera down again. Avatar: The Way of Water is a terrible movie. One day I will make a full review and talk about it. I'll really dissect what makes it a bad movie. But that's my little mini rant for today. It's a bad movie. And it definitely does not deserve to be part of this list, because movies like The Menu, which arguably is one of the best movies of last year, is not on this list. What? In fact, it got no nominations. At least, dude, if you're going to nominate Brendan Fraser for The Whale, and then The Whale gets no other nominations besides in its acting category, I didn't even get Best Screenplay or Best Director. I don't see him in here. I don't see Darren Aronofsky on this list. So, if you're going to nominate him for his performance solely, Ray Fiennes deserves to be nominated for his performance. I don't care what anybody says. That was one of the best performances last year. And if Glass Onion is on here, god damn it, you better put Ray Fiennes and you better put The Menu on here for Best Original Screenplay. And you know what? Best Picture. Best Actress. Anya Taylor-Joy deserves a nomination for something. What the fuck? You put Avatar: The Way of Water. You put Top Gun Maverick. And look, I'm sorry, but Elvis, and I do like Elvis. I also don't think it deserves to be on here. Those are some bizarre choices in my opinion. Like, they feel more like attention grabbers rather than worthy nominations, in my opinion. But no, Avatar: The Way of Water is a terrible movie. Anywho, what else do I want to rant about? Well, there is one more thing I want to rant about. I just have to look through this list real quick and see other things before I get to that big thing. So let me see. I don't think there's anything else. I think it was only the Best Picture and then the Best Adapted Screenplay that I really need to rant about. Man, I'm going to get there now. So Best Adapted Screenplay. First off, The Glass Onion being nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay is kind of a joke. While I get it, and I do think the movie is fun, I don't think it's the best the best adapted screenplay, really. I feel like there were so many other worthier nominations or worthier films to be nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay other than Glass Onion. I don't agree with that whatsoever. In fact, you know what should have been nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, and I do believe in this? The new animated Pinocchio by Guillermo del Toro. That should have been that should be here. That should be here instead of Glass Onion. Let's be real. That should be here instead of Glass Onion. Glass Onion should not be on this list. And then finally, oh my god, Top Gun Maverick nominated Best Adapted Screenplay. Shall I read the names of who was nominated for that Best Adapted Screenplay? Justin Marks, Peter Craig, Eric Warren Singer, Christopher McQuarrie, and Aaron Kruger. Really? Oscars? Really? Oscars? Really? Oscars? Really? Oscars. You nominated Aaron fucking Kruger for an Academy Award in writing. Aaron Kruger. Do I even need to remind you of the things this man has written in his 30 years in this industry? And you found it in you to nominate him for Best Adapted Screenplay. Aaron Kruger, the writer of 2 of the worst Transformers films, the writer of that terrible Dumbo remake, the writer of the worst Scream movie ever made, Practical Magic, all those terrible films. He wrote Ghost in the Shit 2017, man. Come on. And he's nominated. How much did that guy even contribute to the screenplay? I want someone to go find that screenplay, gather all the writers, and I want them to highlight what they gave to the script. I want them to highlight it. I want to know who deserves the most credit for the screenplay, and let's nominate the top 2 guys, and the rest of them, they get like sub credits. They don't get the full credit, because I fail to believe that Aaron Kruger contributed anything worth a damn to that script. I don't believe it for 1 second, based on his track record. He's never proven to be a good writer. And I refuse to believe that he contributed a huge amount to that screenplay to deserve this nomination and this placement. That's egregious. That is egregious. It's a spin in the face to that category. It's a spin in the face to every writer working in Hollywood today. And it's a spin in the face to the art of screenplay writing that you would nominate such a hack, a sellout in every way imaginable. He's a tool. He only writes things based on what the studio tells him to write. Go look at his track record. What original thing has he ever written that was worth a damn? Nothing. And you found it in your mind to nominate him? Unbelievable. Like, that may be, I'm not sure. I might have to sit and think about this. But that may be the worst nomination of all time. Maybe. Just maybe. I have to really reflect on it. Maybe. So, oh, god damn it. Aaron fucking Kruger is now an Oscar-nominated writer. Congratulations, Oscars. Thank you for that. And he's gonna run crazy with that. You know that, right? He's gonna from the Academy Award nominated writer of Top Gun Maverick comes Transformers 8. I love my sister. I don't know. And it's gonna open up more doors for this guy to write more shitty films. That's my biggest problem, is that by getting this nomination, he can bank on it and say, hey, look, I was nominated for an Oscar. Hey, I could write your film. Okay, let's have the alien. Let's just have the alien fall in love with a dog, and let me just write a story like that. What do you guys think? I got nominated for an Oscar. I'm a worthy writer. It's like the Akiva Goldsman thing again. Remember when Akiva Goldsman won an Oscar for Best Writing, and then he's never written anything worth a damn since? Yeah, it's just like that. He's the new Akiva Goldsman, and thank goodness we're done with that guy. He's gone. He's not working anymore. At least I'm praying that he's not writing. I am praying that he's not touching anybody's screenplay right now. Oh my god, that's the worst thing. That is the worst one. Dude, fucking Aaron Kruger is an Oscar-nominated writer. I never thought I would see the day. I must be in like the wrong timeline or something, because that's bizarre. Absolutely crazy. And I guess the last thing I'll talk about is the Best Animated Features category. While I don't have a problem with most of the nominations, I was kind of sad not to see the bad guys on there. Now, is it a great film? No, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's a nice little caper. It's a delight. I think it was one of the more fun films I saw last year. But considering the nominations I saw on the list, I mean, look, nothing against Turning Red, but Turning Red is not as, I would argue Turning Red was not as good of a film as The Bad Guys. I think they're both on the same level, in my opinion. I think the only reason Turning Red got that nomination is because off of the pedigree of Pixar. And they always give Pixar the benefit of the doubt, regardless of how bad their films are, especially because Lightyear didn't get nominated. Rightfully so, though. Lightyear was not good. So I don't know. I'm not against Turning Red getting that nomination, but I would have preferred it go to the bad guys. The bad guys just look visually more interesting, like that cell coloring that they did that is akin to. They said they borrowed a lot of things from Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, and it does kind of look like it did borrow many elements. I love the cartooniness. It reminded me a lot of Mitchell's versus the Machines. I personally thought it should have been nominated, in my opinion. Is it cliche? Yeah, the story is very cliche. The characters are pretty dumb, but man, it's a really fun movie. Like I it could have been nominated if you were gonna throw in nominations, the 5 nominations. It could have been one of the 5, in my opinion. But I'm not the one choosing the Oscars. Anywho, so those are my thoughts of the nominations so far. There were some great things that the Oscars did this year, but also there were some bonehead decisions that they made that really just irked me. And I'd like to know what you guys thought about the nominations. Did you agree with all of them? Did you hate them? Did you find them terrible like I did in some regards? And, I've been thinking about getting back to watching some films religiously. So, if you want me to watch all the nominees for Best Picture and give my short fire reviews, let me know. I've been missing doing YouTube videos, and my girlfriend, who's actually right next to me, I warned her I was doing this video. She's been asking me to go back into YouTube, making YouTube videos again. So this might be my chance to actually get back into that. So if you guys want to see more videos from me and me reviewing things again, let me know in the comments. I'll even make a poll maybe later on in the day and ask your opinions on that. But until then, guys, I'm already late for school. I don't know what time is it. Oh shoot, it's 5:44. I better get going. Anyway, I better get to work. So thank you for listening to me yell. Hopefully you agree with some of my opinions. If you disagree, just let me know in the comments, and I will see you on the next video. Till then, peace, YouTube.